Hi guys, Jessie here, and welcome to my reaction to the very first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So of all the Marvel Disney Plus shows that were announced, this one is the one I'm most excited for. I am a huge Bucky Barnes and Winter Soldier fan. Ed Brubaker's run of Captain America was one of the first comic books I ever bought, and so the Winter Soldier has always really held a special place in my heart. I only ever watched the first trailer for the show just because I didn't want to get too spoiled on anything, but I'm excited to see them delve into these characters a little more. Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes' characters have always been super tied to Captain America and his story, but it'll be exciting to see what their characters are like outside of that. So I'm excited to see the character development between these characters and their relationship with each other. I think the thing I'm most excited about this show, or hoping from this show, is I want them to delve into Bucky Barnes' trauma a little bit more than the movies have, because this is a character who has been a brainwashed assassin for several decades, and we've never really touched on how he feels about that, because obviously he only shows up in Captain America movies, and the focus is always on how Steve is feeling about his friend coming back from the dead, or being brainwashed, or having to fight him. So I'm really hoping that they'll delve into the trauma of Bucky Barnes a little bit. But yeah, we'll just have to kind of see what kind of vibe this show has, if it feels more like an Avengers movie or takes it back to Captain America the Winter Soldier and feels more like a spy thriller. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what the show has in store for me. So yeah, let's just jump into Season 1, Episode 1. Why am I nervous? I haven't seen Bucky Barnes in so long, and like Cap was my favorite character, and I don't know why I feel like nervous about this show. My heart's legitimately beating really fast right now. Oh no, is this show gonna make me cry?
How does it feel? Like it's someone else's. Is it?
If this show shows Steve's funeral, I will cry on camera.
No treaties violated. First Lieutenant Torres, our intel officer, will be helping on the ground. It's Sam. This has to be subtle.
Subtle.
Why do you send the Birdman if you're trying to be subtle?
They've already hijacked the plane. We're gonna need to call some people.
Oh. That guy.
Red Wing, engage!
Oh yeah. Well, that ain't good. This fighting style definitely feels like the stuff they implemented in for Cap after Winter Soldier. Oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to get away from him. Yeah, just parachute out. It'll probably go fine for you.
Red Wing, get him off our ass!
I like the fact that he talks to Red Wing like it's a pet, and not just like a mechanical robot in this version. many helicopters does this guy have? Where are these helicopters coming from?
90 seconds. Steve represented the best in all of us. Courageous, righteous, hopeful. And he mastered posing stoically. The world has been forever changed. A few months ago, billions of people reappeared after 5 years away, sending the world into turmoil. We need new heroes. Symbols are nothing without the women and men that give them meaning. And this thing, I don't know if there's ever been a greater symbol, but it's more about the man who propped it up. He's gone. So today we honor Steve's legacy, but also we look to the future. Thank you, Captain America.
Now he gave it to you. God damn it, Steve. Why did you have to leave? Well, this is ominous feeling. Oh! Shit. Oh, there's that Winter Soldier theme!
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything.
So, Mr. Barnes, are you still having nightmares?
Wow. So we're actually dealing with Bucky's PTSD.
You're alone. You're 100 years old. You have no history, no
Are
family.
you lashing out at me, Doc? Because that's really unprofessional. You know, I mean, when did that start? When you start yelling at your clients? Oh, the notebook, that's great. All right, give me a break. I'm trying, okay? This isn't,
Easy.
this is new for me.
And if you are alone, that is the quietest, most personal hell. And James, it is very hard to escape. I know that you have been through a lot, but you got your mind back. You are being pardoned. I mean, these are good things. You're free.
To do what?
He had a job with a consulting company, and he was working abroad, and he was killed. The police said, "Wrong place, wrong time," but I will never know what really happened to him.
Oh.
I think it's really sweet you're spending time with Yori. It's been hard for him since his son died. I think not knowing how it happened is the hardest part for him. It really messed him up. You good?
Yeah, maybe don't bring that up on a date. Maybe.
How was the day? is good.
God, I owed you for lunch.
Sorry, I keep thinking, did you used to play for LSU? Do I know you from somewhere?
I don't know, do you?
Do. Come on. I knew it, Falcon.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Oh.
I didn't want to say anything, you know.
You have no income over the last 5 years.
How can you have income if you don't exist?
Sarah. I've been gone. Like several billion other people.
Just showing up, well, things tighten up.
Funny how things always tighten around us.
Whoa, easy there. Look, I'm on your side. After all, he's a hero.
This is not what I thought the plot of this show was gonna be. I know it's just set up for their characters, but...
So this is the leader of the Flag Smashers, huh?
Yeah, real nice guy.
I thought you were supposed to be monitoring them online.
I was. I did, but you know, sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty or broken orbital. But you don't think you'd be
But I'll circle back to you. Let's keep this between me and you, okay?
alright.
My God, Sam. Better look at this.
Unrest in the wake of recent events has left us vulnerable. Everyday Americans feel it. While we love heroes who put their lives on the line to defend Earth, we also need a hero to defend this country. On behalf of the Department of Defense and our Commander-in-Chief, it is with great honor that we announce here today that the United States of America has a new hero. Join me in welcoming your new Captain America.
Yep. That sucks. So that was season 1, episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A little bit of a slow start. I understand that's just kind of setting up everything and setting up the characters and the plot so far. I like the fact that it focused a lot on Sam, because Sam has kind of been an enigma, even in the Cap movies. Like, we knew he was in the Air Force, and then his co-pilot Riley got shot down, and that's about it for Sam's backstory. So in this episode, we got, like, meet his family, his sister, and, like, his nephews, and learn a little bit about his past, which I really enjoyed. That being said, it was a little slow. Did I need to see them, like, go to the bank? Not necessarily, but this is definitely going to build to, like, themes later on and, like, explain his character a little more. His speech at the beginning really got to me, because the world thinks Steve's dead, and I don't know necessarily where he is at the moment, being over 100 years old at this point. And even though he was given the shield, because he knew Steve, he doesn't feel, I don't know, worthy of it. Because Captain America really is Steve Rogers. And it's a really shitty move that, I don't know who's in charge, but the US government decided, even though it feels like they asked Sam to give up the shield to, like, the Smithsonian. And then a couple days later, after everything's been gone, they're like, okay, we're gonna give it to another guy. And I know that's the US agent because I've read the comics and that's his costume. But the fact that they're creating the US agent to be the next Captain America, to be this symbol of, like, US nationalism, they didn't ask Sam to be that. Like, yes, he gave it up, but they asked him to give it up from what I was able to see. And that's because he doesn't fit the mold of what they thought they wanted their US military spokesboy to look like. But yeah, that beginning speech got to me. I said at the beginning, if there's a funeral in this show for Steve Rogers, I was gonna cry. And I really want them to discuss the fact that Steve left. Because I don't like Steve Rogers' ending in Endgame. I think it's out of character for him just to go back to the past to be with Peggy. It's not his character arc at all. His whole character arc was him moving on from the past and learning to let go. And they kind of threw that away in the last 5 minutes of Endgame. But that's Steve Rogers' ending, and I have to deal with that. So I want them to deal with the ramifications of that. The fact that he left Bucky behind, his best friend, and Bucky doesn't really have anyone except for Steve, because they were in a very similar situation where they were taken out of time and now just had to kind of deal with the world 100 years later. Not that long, but Steve had the Avengers. Bucky doesn't really have anyone. Bucky had Steve, but Steve left for Peggy. With you to the end of the line, my ass. But I want them to deal with the emotional ramifications of Steve leaving. But then there's also the interesting political aspects of Steve leaving and Steve being this symbol for the American military. And even though Captain America in the universe is created as U.S. military propaganda, he kind of moved past that because Steve, even though he is called Captain America and was created as propaganda, he's always kind of fought against that. He doesn't defend America as it is, but as it should be. He joined the military because he didn't like bullies, and I have a feeling that this new Captain America is not going to have the same sort of sense of right and wrong as Steve did. I have a feeling they probably chose someone who would agree with their political beliefs and kind of not fight against any U.S. politics. So that seems to be one villain in the show, this anti-Captain America. And he definitely does not fill out that costume as much as Steve did. He doesn't have the same, chiseled jaw that he does. Looks a little goofy. So that seems to be one plot thread of this TV show, which is going to be Sam fighting against U.S. Agent and taking up the mantle. So we'll have that kind of conflict there. And then on the other half of the show, we have the Flag Smashers, who are keen on bringing back the world as it was during the blip. We didn't get a lot of them, so we don't really know their goals or what their plans are and what bringing the world back to what it was during the blip really means. All we really know about them is that they stole something. They seem to have some sort of superpowers, because that guy definitely had super strength. And then they all have a red handprint, like the white mark of Saruman on them, so. And also Baron Zemo's going to be in the show, so we're just going to be chock full of villains. And Bucky. Bucky also makes me really sad, because, yeah, we're actually dealing with his PTSD and trauma from being brainwashed to kill a bunch of people. So we gotta see a little bit of his time as the Winter Soldier. The fact that he's trying to make amends with both the people who wronged him and the people he wronged. So he's hanging out with an old man whose son he killed, and he's trying to get back into a normal life. But that's really hard when you're a 104-year-old brainwashed super assassin. But he's trying. But again, he is very much alone in this world. And the fact that his therapist is just like, why don't you have more friends? And that's really easy to say when you're not a 104-year-old brainwashed super assassin. Like, how do you make friends? No, his whole story kind of just makes me sad. It's because none of that stuff is his fault. And he just doesn't have, a support system at all to help him with that. Again, thanks, Steve. So, I'm hoping later on his friendship with Sam helps him. I don't know what Bucky would do if he wasn't a soldier. He's been an assassin for so many years, so him leaving the life and just having a civilian life, I have no idea what he would do. Or if he actually even wants to. I know he says that he just wants peace. But what does peace look like to Bucky? And I don't know, because even though he's such a pivotal character for the Captain America movies, he doesn't actually have a lot of screen time or dialogue lines. Because we saw Steve adapt to the modern world over the course of a couple movies. And even though Bucky has, you know, been more acclimated to the modern world in more of a kind of gradual process because he was taken off of ice and put it back on. It's not like he actually lived a life. This is the first time he's gotten to be like a human being in the world since 1940. So yeah, it was kind of a slow build, but it was a interesting start to the show. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I really like both of our main characters, so I'll just have to wait for my questions to be answered. So that was my reaction to Season 1, Episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you like this reaction, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and keeps me motivated to keep making more of these. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.